Students often think big words will help.
Yes, that is a common trap. Using big words is fine, only if they I was utterly flabbergasted by the ambiance. It sounds unnatural.
True. It to say, I was really surprised by the idea.
But more
Exactly. Examiners reward naturalness. They don't want to hear a dictionary. So, Mia, can you give one example of a Band 7 answer and how to make it Band 8?
Sure. Suppose the question is, do you enjoy watching movies? A Band 7 answer might be, yes, I like watching movies, fun and relaxing. A Band 8 answer would be, absolutely, big fan of movies because they help me unwind after a busy day. Plus, I think films reflect different cultures and human emotions.
Nice. So you add a reason, an example, and a natural expression like unwind.
Exactly. That is how you show lexical change without sounding artificial.
I love that. It feels like a real conversation.
That's the goal. The IELTS speaking test is just conversation. The examiner is not your enemy.
Ha! Yes. Sometimes students look terrified.
I know, but the examiner wants you to succeed. They are trained to guide you.
That is reassuring. Let us talk about writing next. How can someone get bait in writing task 2?
Writing. The trickiest part. For Band 8, the key structure and coherence. You must present your ideas clearly with logical flow.
So that means introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion?
Yes, but not just that. Each paragraph should have a clear central idea. Many students fill the essay with random examples, but that confuses the examiner.
I get it. Quality, quantity.
Exactly. And your vocabulary should match the topic. For example, if the essay is about technology, use topic-related words like innovation, automation, digital transformation.
Makes sense. What about grammar?
Grammar matters, but again, focus on accuracy, not complexity. Using one complex sentence correctly is better than 3 with mistakes.
That is golden advice.
And don't forget linking devices. Words like however, moreover, on the other hand, make your writing coherent, but don't overuse them.
Yeah, I once saw a student write however in every paragraph.
Yes, it becomes robotic.
What about the listening section?
For listening, exposure is everything. Listen to podcasts, news, or YouTube channels every day. Focus on understanding ideas, not just words.
So, like training your ear to catch meaning.
Exactly. And practice predicting answers before listening. For example, if the question says, the train leaves at, you know the answer must be a time.
Ah, smart. That helps you stay focused.
Yes. And for reading, it's all about skimming and scanning. You don't need to understand every word.
So, finding the main idea quickly?
Exactly. Time management is key.
Mia, if you had to summarize the secret of Band 8 in one sentence, what would it be?
I would say Band 8 comes from confidence, clarity, and consistency.
Beautiful. Confidence, clarity, and consistency.
Yes. You can prepare every day, but if you don't believe in yourself, your performance drops. So stay positive.
Absolutely. And that reminds me of a phrase. Keep your chin up. It means stay confident, even when things get tough.
Yes, that is a good idiom. Students should learn such expressions because they make your answers sound natural.
So true.
And one last tip before we end this part, don't compare yourself with others. Your English journey is your own.
Perfectly said.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of our IELTS Learning Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about something every IELTS student dreams about, Band 8.
Oh, yes, Band 8, the magic number. It sounds simple when people say it, but it takes a lot of smart work, not just hard work.
Exactly. So, if you were listening to the studying, walking, or even sipping your stay tuned, because today we are going to break down the real secrets behind getting Band 8 in IELTS.
Yes, and we are not talking about theory. We will talk about real strategies, mistakes, and real experiences.
Mia, this is one of those where people need both motivation and clarity. Any student like Band 8 possible.
I agree. And let's something right from the start. Band 8 is about being perfect. It is about being natural, confident, and consistent.
That is such an important. I see students missing answers, repeating phrases, lots, still wondering why their score is stuck at 0.5 or.
Exactly. IELTS learners can feel someone is reciting memorized answers. The secret is to sound human, spontaneous, and local.
Let's start with a common question. What does bait actually in IELTS?
That is a great question. It means you are a good user of English. You can use complex structures naturally, you can talk about abstract topics, and your mistakes are rare and do not cause misunderstanding.
So it is not about being native, but about being fluent and accurate to express yourself naturally.
Yes. And one big myth we need to break is that Band 8 students never make mistakes. That is not true. Even Band 9 candidates make small mistakes, but they correct themselves smoothly.
That is so true. It's like the idiom practice makes perfect, but I prefer to say practice makes progress.
Exactly. That is a better mindset. Progress over perfection.
Let's get practical. Let's talk about IELTS speaking first. How can someone really push their speaking score from 7 to 8?
Good question. The first key is pronunciation, but not accent. You do not need a British or American accent. You just need clear pronunciation, correct stress, and good intonation.
So, like the rhythm of speech.
Yes. If your tone goes up and down naturally, you sound more fluent. Also, words matter. Instead of saying, I like travel, it is interesting, say, I like traveling because it allows me to explore new cultures. It flows better.
I see. And what about vocabulary? Students often think big words will help.
Yes, that is a common trap. Using big words is fine, but only if they fit naturally. If you say, I was utterly flabbergasted by the ambiance, it sounds unnatural.
True. It's better to say, I was really surprised by the atmosphere. Simpler, but more real.
Exactly. IELTS examiners reward naturalness. They do not want to hear a dictionary.
So, Mia, can you give one example of a Band 7 answer and how to make it Band 8?
Sure. Suppose the question is, do you enjoy watching movies? A Band 7 answer might be, yes, I like watching movies. They are fun and relaxing. A Band 8 answer would be, absolutely. I'm a big fan of movies because they help me unwind after a busy day. Plus, I think films reflect different cultures and human emotions.
Nice. So you add a reason, an example, and a natural expression like unwind.
Exactly. That is how you show lexical range without sounding artificial.
I love that. It feels like a real conversation.
That is the goal. The IELTS speaking test is just a conversation. The examiner is not your enemy.
Yes. Sometimes students look terrified.
I know, but the examiner wants you to succeed. They're trained to guide you.
That's reassuring. Let's talk about writing next. How can someone get Band 8 in writing task 2?
Writing, the trickiest part. For Band 8, the key is structure and coherence. You must present your ideas clearly with logical flow.
So that means introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion.
Yes, but not just that. Each paragraph should have a clear central idea. Many students fill the essay with random examples, but that confuses the examiner.
Get it. Quality over quantity.
Exactly. And your vocabulary should match the topic. For example, if the essay is about technology, technology. Use topic-related words like innovation, automation, digital transformation.
Makes sense. What about grammar?
Grammar matters, but again, focus on accuracy, not complexity. Using complex sentence correctly is better than 3 mistakes.
That is golden advice.
And don't forget linking devices. Words like however, moreover. On the other hand, make your writing coherent, but don't overuse them.
I once saw a student write ever in every paragraph.
It becomes robotic.
What about the list section?
Exposure is everything. Podcasts, new YouTube channel today. Focus on understanding ideas, not just words.
So, like training your ear to catch meaning?
Exactly. And practice predicting answers before listening. Example, question says, the tree is at. You know the answer must be a time.
Ah, smart. So you stay focused.
Yes. And reading, it's all skimming and skimming. You don't understand every word.
So finding the main idea.
Exact. Time management is...
Yeah, if you had to sum the C and 8 in one, what?
I would say band comes from clarity and consistency.
B. Clarity and consistency.
Yes. Pair every. But if you don't believe in yourself, your performance drops. So stay positive.
Absolutely. That reminds me of a phrase. Keep your chin. It means stay confident. Even things get tough.
Yeah, that is a good idiom. Students should learn sections because they make your answer natural.
So true.
And one tip before we end this, don't compare yourself with others. English journey own.
Perfect.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're serious about Band 8 and that. Now, in this part, we'll share success stories, a daily routine that can take you there.
Yes. I've seen so many students who thought band was impossible, but once followed the system, they made it.
Exactly. Band 8 isn't about luck. It's about preparation, focus, and mindset.
Let me show you first. There was a student named B. He was from Bangladesh, and his first IELTS was 6.5 overall. His main problem, speaking, froze during the...
I can totally relate. People get nervous when they see the exam.
Exactly. So I told him to practice every day, but not into Telegram club and starting with other learners 10 minutes daily.
Nice. Sounds simple, but...
Yeah, and within 2 months, speaking went from 6 to 8. He said it was not fear mistakes.
Wow, that's inspiring. I think people underestimate how powerful daily practice is.
Absolutely. Another story, a student named Priya from India, she was going in writing too. She used to memorize, but when she's memorizing and started singing on essay structure, introduction to body paragraphs, and proved.
It's key. Students think that they need perfect, but really, it's about organizing your ideas.
Exactly. And she practiced writing just 1 day per week, but checking it carefully. She learned every mistake and finally got 8 in writing.
That's awesome. So let's bring for our listener what a Band 8 plan look.
All right. Here's simple but powerful day Band 8 plan.
Good. Let's go day A.
Okay. First, divide your step 4 parts. Ding, writing, speak.
Makes sense.
Days 1, then understand test. Watch official's video. Take 1 complete mock test by your areas.
That's important. You can't improve what measure.
Exactly. Then start building your vocabulary. Learn new words from topics environment, education, health, technology.
That's realistic.
Days 8-14. On listen reading. list every day. Just check answers. Analyze mistakes. Why did you miss them? Was it spelling, speed, accent?
Good point. It's not about doing more tests, it's about learning from them.
Exactly. And for writing, start with true fun given questions. They're tricky, but common. Practice scanning techniques.
Yes, and timing yourself helps.
Days 15 to 21. Now focus on writing task 1 and task 2. Write one task per day. Use online samples to understand structure, but don't copy them.
I like that. Learn structure, not sentences.
Yes. Also, check your essay for 4 things: task response, coherence, vocabulary, and grammar.
Those are exactly the marking criteria.
Right. And for speaking, record yourself answering common Part 1 and Part 2 questions. Listen back and notice your tone, speed, and clarity.
This is a great system so far.
Days 22 to 28, now it's time for mock tests. Take full practice tests under exam conditions. Time yourself strictly. No pausing the audio.
Yes, real test discipline.
Exactly. And review every mistake carefully. And the key, don't just test yourself. Train yourself.
I love that line. Don't test yourself, train yourself.
Yes. And finally, days 29 and 30, relax. Don't overload your brain. Sleep well, do light revision, and visualize success. Confidence can boost your score by half a band easily.
Absolutely true. If you walk into the test room with a calm smile, half your job is done.
Exactly. Confidence plus preparation equals band 8.
Now, let's talk about pronunciation and fluency, 2 areas many ignore.
Yes, pronunciation is not about sounding British or American. It's about being clear. You can be Bangladeshi, Indian, Chinese, or Arabic. Your accent is fine as long as understandable.
Totally agree.
To improve pronunciation, read out loud Beely. Choose an English article, record yourself, and listen back. Notice where you sound flat or unclear.
And use apps like Elsa or Youglish to hear how native speakers say words.
Perfect tip. For fluency, try the 3-2-1 method. Talk for 3 minutes about a topic, then 2 minutes, then 1 minute. Each time, be faster and smoother.
That's brilliant. It trains your brain to organize ideas quickly.
Exactly. And you can use real IELTS topics for this practice.
All right, Mia. Now, before we move to our final segment, I want to ask you something. What's the difference between someone who gets band 6 and someone who gets band 8?
That's a great question. Honestly, it's not grammar or vocabulary. It's awareness and practice. Band 6 students practice randomly. Band 8 students practice strategically.
That's deep.
And Band 6 students say, I'll study more. Band 8 students say, I'll improve this one skill today.
Wow, I love that.
And one more thing, Band 8s enjoy the process. They watch English movies, listen to podcasts, talk with friends. They make English a lifestyle.
Beautifully said.
All right, everyone, we're in the final stretch of this episode. If you're still listening, that means you're truly dedicated to your IELTS journey. And today, Mia and I want to end this conversation with some real talk, the final tips, the mindset, and that emotional push you need to get band 8.
Yeah, because the truth is, IELTS is not just an English test. It's a mind test. You're not only being tested for your grammar or vocabulary.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of our IELTS Learning Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about something every IELTS student dreams about, Band 8.
Oh yes, Band 8, the magic number. It sounds simple when people say it, but it takes a lot of smart work. It's hard work.
Exactly. So if you are listening to this while studying or even sip coffee, stay tuned, because today we are going to break down the real secrets behind getting band 8 IELTS.
Yes, and we are not talking about theory. We'll talk about real strategies strategies, real mistakes, and real experiences.
Mia, I think this is one of those topics people need both motivation and clarity. Because many feel like Band 8 is impossible.
I agree. And let me tell you something right. Bond 8 is not about being perfect. It is about being confident and consistent.
That is such an important point because I see students memorize answers, repeating phrases like robots. Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of our IELTS podcast. Today, we are going to talk about something every IELTS
The sun disappear behind the
student
mountains.
dreams
But Ella liked to stay
about.
awake a little longer.
Welcome back,
She loved to
Band
sit by the window and look at the that covered the trees and fields.
Oh, yes.
The night was always
Band
quiet.
8.
Only the sound of the song of the
The
crickets
magic
could be
number.
heard. One
It
night,
sounds
while everyone was asleep,
simple when people
Ella
but
whispered
it takes
softly,
a lot of
I wish I could talk
smart
to the
work,
moon.
not just hard
It
work.
looked so lonely up there. To her surprise,
So if you are
a
listening
gentle
to this
voice answered,
while
"And I wish I
studying,
could talk to someone
walking,
down there."
or
Ella looked around but
even
saw no
sipping
one.
your
Then
coffee,
she realized
stay
the voice was coming from the moon
tuned,
itself.
because
She
today
blinked in wonder
we are
and
going
said
to
quietly,
break
"Are
down
you
the
really talking
real
to me,
secrets
Mr. Moon?"
behind
The moon replied
getting
with a warm
Band
and friendly
8
tone.
in
Yes,
IELTS.
little one. I can hear you very clearly.
Yes,
And from that
and
moment,
we
a
are not
beautiful friendship
talking
began between a girl and the moon.
about theory. We will
The
talk
moon
about
said
real
softly,
strategies,
I shine every night,
real
but
mistakes,
nobody really
and
talks to
real
me. Will you be M. Brighter?
experiences.
Ella smiled
Mia,
and answered
I
kindly,
think this is
of
one
course, I will
of
be
those
your friend.
topics where
But how
people
can I be
need
your
both
friend when you are so far away?
motivation
The moon
and
chuckled
clarity.
gently and said, friendship does not
Because
need distance
many
to
students
disappear.
feel like
You can
Band
share your thoughts and I will listen. From that
8
night on,
is
Ella talked to
impossible.
the moon
I
before
agree.
going to bed.
And
She
let me
told the
tell
moon
you
about
something
her
right
day,
from the start.
about
Bond
her
8 is
dreams
not
and
about being
worries.
perfect.
The moon
It
listened
is about being
patiently.
natural, confident, and consistent.
That is
Sometimes answered
such
with
an
stories
important
about
point
Ella in her
because
heart.
I
She
students
knew that no matter what
memory
happened,
answer,
the moon was
repeating
always
phrases
there to
like
listen.
robot, and
Every
still
night,
wondering
the sky looked a little brighter, and her dreams
why
became a little
their
sweeter.
speaking
As
score
time
is stuck
passed,
at
Ella grew older. She became busy with
0.5
school and
then.
with her friends, and all the small things that life brings each day.
IELTS
She stopped talking to the moon.
examiners can
Nights passed quietly, but the moon still waited above,
feel
shining
when
softly over
someone
the
is
sleeping
reciting
village. One
memorized
night,
answers.
Ella could not sleep. She turned from side to side in her bed,
The
feeling a little
secret
lonely.
is to
Then she walked to the
human,
window and opened it slowly. The cool
spontaneous,
night
and
breeze
logical.
touched her,
Let's
and there it was, the moon
start with
glowing
the
more brightly
common
than
question.
ever before. The moon
What
spoke in a gentle voice. I have missed our talks,
Band
Ella.
8
Ella felt a
actually
tear
mean in
rolling down her cheek. I am
IELTS?
sorry, she
That
said
is a
softly.
great
I
question.
forgot about our promise. The moon
Band 8
replied with
means you are a
kindness.
very
It is never too late to
good
remember.
user of
Friendship lives in the heart,
You can use
not in time.
complex structures naturally. You can talk about abstract
In a small
Welcome back,
peaceful
everyone,
green
to another
hills, there
exciting
lived a
episode of our IELTS learning podcast. Today,
girl named
we are
Ella. The village is
going to
early,
talk about
here
something
behind the mountain. In a small
Welcome back, everyone, to
and
another
peaceful village,
exciting
Serene
episode
Hills,
of our
the girl
IELTS
named
learning
Ella.
podcast.
Every evening, the villagers
Today,
finished their work
we
early and watched the sun
are going to
disappear
talk
behind
about
the
something
mountains.
every
But Ella
IELTS
liked to stay awake a little
student
longer. She
dreams.
loved to sit by the
Band
window and look at the silver
8.
moonlight that
Oh
covered
yes,
the trees and
Band
fields. The night was always calm and quiet.
The magic
Only the
sounds
sound of the wind and the soft
simple
song
when
of the
people say
crickets
it.
could be heard.
It's a lot of
One night, while everyone was asleep,
smart
Ella
work,
whispered
not just hard
softly,
work.
I wish I could talk to the moon. It looks so lonely
Exactly.
up there.
So if you
Rise,
are
a
listening to
gentle
this
voice
while
answered.
studying, walking,
In a small and
welcome
peaceful
back,
village,
everyone.
in a small
Welcome back,
and
everyone,
peaceful
to
village
another
surrounded
exciting episode of
by
IELTS
the
learning
green hill to young
podcast.
Every villagers finished
Today,
their work
we are going to talk about something every IELTS student dreams
and
about.
watched the sun disappear.
Band
But Ella took a little longer
Oh
to
yes,
sit by the window
Band
and look at the
8.
moonlight that covered the trees and fields. The night was
The
always
magic
calm and quiet. Only
number.
the sound of the wind and the soft
It
song of the
sounds
cricket. One night,
simple
while everyone
when
was
people
asleep,
say it,
Ella
but it takes a
whispered
lot of
softly, I wish I could talk to the
smart
moon.
work,
It looks
not
so lonely
just
up
hard
there.
work.
To her surprise, a gentle
Exactly.
voice answered,
So
and
if
I
you
wish I
are
could talk to
listening
someone down
to this
there.
while studying,
Ella
walking,
looked In a
Welcome back, everyone, to another
Surrounded by green
exciting
hills.
episode of our IELTS
There lived a young
podcast.
Structures naturally. You can talk about abstract